Faith Christian Center Church right here in Beaumont, Texas. And we're here on what's happening in our neighborhood. And today my special guests are Miss Jeanette Rideau and Chef Johnson. Welcome, ladies.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Hey, listen, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Actually, I was born and raised here in Beaumont, Texas. Never left the Pear Orchard. I think maybe I left the Pear Orchard for about 2 years. Came right back to the Pear Orchard and just
Jeanette, were you locked in?
I was locked in. I was vowed never to leave Beaumont, and that's what I did.
Well, Chef, how did you get into the Beaumont area?
I actually moved here 11 years ago, and I married a guy here from Beaumont, and he's from the Pear Orchard area.
You know, I've heard it said once you come, you can't leave. You can't leave. So it's been 11 years that you've been here.
Yes, sir.
So Jeanette, tell us a little bit about the organization that you're part of.
The name of our organization is Coach Rideau, What About the Children? We came up with the name by my kids. They were at church and they were doing a play and they were a part of ministries, and they did a play, and Cheryl Guidry and Jules Smith, they sang the song What About the Children, and I loved it, and I always said that if we ever did anything with children, we would incorporate that name into our organization. I called to get that name, and the IRS told me, why don't you personalize it? So we personalized it.
So what is the mission of Coach Rideau, What About the Children?
Our mission is to empower our children. For over 25 years, Coach Rideau has coached children. He's touched so many children in our community, and he has empowered them to be disciplined, conditioned, and teamwork with their other teammates. So our mission is to empower our children to have self-confidence, to become business owners, to become just whatever it is that they have dreams to do, and that's what we formed this organization for.
Now, for those who might not know who Coach Rideau is, but I don't think anybody doesn't know who he is. He's the loud one that's always in the stands.
Yes. That everybody said, why don't you just go home? But he's not, because he's going to always be there for the children. The children is his passion. And what he did, he played basketball under the leadership of Coach Jack White at Heber High School. And Coach Jack White, he told me that he locked the doors and taught them classroom. He taught them basketball from the chalkboard. And as a result, it empowered him, and he became a coach, and he incorporated Coach White's motto of discipline, conditioning, and teamwork.
Wonderful. Chef, how did you get involved in this organization?
Actually, Coach Rideau suffered from a massive aneurysm, which he almost wasn't with us anymore, and it really touched my heart to see what had happened to him. And I told my husband, I said, we have to do something for him, because he's always pouring into the community. He's always taking care of things in the community, and now he's down. What can we do to help him? And God gave me a dream and a vision for a benefit dinner for him and his wife to raise money for the community, not knowing that she had already had something in mind like that she wanted to do. And that's basically how everything fell into place. And we put our first benefit dinner together. When was that?
It was in March. He had his brain aneurysm in March of 2016. And just so happens, when she showed up to our house, she wanted to do something for us, help us with our finances, because he was off from work for 8 months. By the grace of God, we rehabbed him back. And by the time she had gotten to us, he had already gone back to work, and I told her we wouldn't feel comfortable taking money from the community, but what our dreams and our goals were to find some property in our community and build a life skill training center for our children from the ground up. And that's how it got started. She came to us, and she told us, and I told her, I said, well, and she said, I'm only one person, let's get a committee. I got on the phone that night, started calling people, and they were like, it's about time. We've been waiting.
Well, now Chef, when you talk about Chef, now what kind of food do you cook, Chef?
I'm from Louisiana.
Oh, Cajun food.
I love Cajun
Spicy?
food. Whatever you want, I will do whatever
What
you
you
want.
say?
But I'm versatile. When it comes to cooking, I'm a chameleon. If you want Italian food, I can do it. If you want Jewish food, I can do it. I just love the art of preparing food and seeing people happy when they're eating.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Jeanette, you have some fundraisers coming up real soon. So tell us a little bit about the fundraisers that you have coming up.
Okay, our past fundraiser was the Black Tie event in March of 2016. We were blessed with, it was very, very successful. And we were blessed with Maria Howe, that was one of the lead singers from The Color Purple. She and my sister became friends back in '94, but they had lost contact in December of 2016. They got back together again, and when my sister was telling about what we were doing, she volunteered to come down, and she sang 3 songs at our event. So it was very successful, yes. And then our last fundraiser we did New Year's Eve at the Jazz and Jokes, and that was for the adults, which was a lot of fun and very successful. So our upcoming events, we're thinking about a fashion show for the children, basketball tournaments, all of that. We're trying to raise funds in order to be able to purchase this property. And we're needing the community to back us on this. I kind of totaled it up. I said, in between, with the Golden Triangle, Port Arthur, Orange, Beaumont, if every person would come and drop off $25,
Wow.
we can raise.
And I was going to ask you how much the property is, and so that we could, maybe do something to
Yes.
say, hey, listen, if we get X amount of people to donate X amount of dollars, we get that land taken care of.
We can get the property, yes. We can get the property and the building if the whole Golden Triangle was the backers and supporters. Because we have, almost 300,000?
Yes.
So $25,
Half a million people.
$25, you're looking
Right.
at $9 million in one day.
Wow.
One day, if they would just come through and just.
And really, that's what you're looking for is community involvement, because
Community involvement.
when you really look at it, you're going to be involved with the kids of the community.
Correct.
Because I remember growing up at the YMCA on Sarah Street,
Oh, yes.
And that baseball was very instrumental in keeping me off the street.
Correct. And with the why, now, that's another thing. My husband and I both, we were down with health issues. God set us down long enough to be able to see exactly what was going on in our community. And so in our community now, where we used to have recreational facilities all over the place where our children were empowered and they grew and they learned and they were mentored. Now, we only have one recreational facility, but we have the common denominator are jails, institutions, and death.
And they're everywhere.
Right. And death. So, as a result, and when he retired from from doing basketball and coaching basketball, we still had grandparents and single mothers coming to us and needing help. And so he decided he'd get back in it. Well, as a result, we were like, okay, what are we going to do? And then Delilah showed up at our door.
With some food.
No. Yeah. But that was our avenue for the Black Tie event because she was, she did some excellent food. We had teriyaki salmon and garlic roasted pork loin. She did an awesome job. It was awesome. So as a result, once we saw exactly what was happening with our community, because Beaumont, Fair Orchard was flourishing, and then all of a sudden we just lost everything. So now we're like, okay, we recognize the problem. Now we want to be a part of getting it back up and running. We apologize to the children because we were a part of that group that fell on our children. So we know what the problem is, so now we want to help get them back to where, and we can do that.
Yeah.
We can empower, because Coach Rideau has had excellent success with his basketball career. He had, I think it was 5 years ago, he had 9 of his kids that went through his program that all got paid scholarships to go to school. This past year, he had 5 of his kids, with the largest one being Alexis Morris, who's at Baylor. Yes. Mm-hmm. He also has, my kids were all very successful in sports and all of that, but it's not just about sports. It's a ministry.
Right.
It's a ministry. For over 25, 30 years, we have had children come through our program that sometimes we have yet to see their parents. And so they adopt us as their parents. Right. And we have Just the other day, we had a guy that works for UPS, and he was passing on the street, and he stopped, Coach Rideau. He said, man, Coach Rideau, if it wasn't for you, he says, I don't know where I'd be. Now I can feed my family.
Well, now here's what I want you to do. Next time when you see your husband, you tell him to stop yelling at me.
I know.
I'm just messing with you.
I know.
Hey, listen, so in our few moments left, for the audience that are watching, if they want to get in contact with you, how can they do that?
They can get in contact with me. I have a business on Washington and Houston. It's Reliable Copy Service, 2498 Washington Boulevard. And also, they can contact me by phone, 409-363-3064. We're going to be more active in the community. We just started our organization in October. We sent out for our 501c3 in December. We received it like 175 days later, which was a blessing.
Yeah.
Yes. And so we are actively, what I'm doing now is I'm working on our business plans. I'm working on our proposals. We have earmarked some property in our community that, in the name of Jesus, we've claimed it already. We've claimed it already. We'll see.
And then, Chef, I don't want to leave you out. So if someone want to contact you and get some of that Cajun food, how can they do that?
You can actually go to my email me at chefdelilahjohnson@gmail.com.
Okay. All right, so look, I put all the information at the bottom of the screen there, and so you'll be able to get in touch with the Coach Rideau, What About Our Children organization, and then you'll be able to get in touch with Chef Johnson and get you some good old food. I'm getting hungry right now.
And you really need to try her chicken and spinach tamales. Wonderful.
Okay, Chef. I'll be looking for me some spinach tamales.
And chicken tamales.
And chicken, I'll be looking for some of that. But listen, I want to thank the ladies for joining us today to tell us about the organization, Coach Rideau, What About Our Children Foundation. And listen, if we all get involved in helping to mentor our community, our young people, we'll see a better community for us around us. So again, I want to thank them for joining us, and I want to thank you for joining us right here on What's Happening in Our Neighborhood. And we will see you next time on our broadcast.